There are 18 years of Jesus' life that the Bible almost completely skips over. We get his birth, we get one story from when he is 12, and then nothing. The very next thing we're told, he's about 30 years old walking into the Jordan River to be baptized, and his public ministry begins. 18 years gone. No miracles recorded, no sermons, no parables, just silence. And today I want to dig into that silence because I think that we can piece together about those hidden years might matter more to your life than almost any of his famous ones. Let's start with what we know for certain, because I don't want to blur the line between scripture and speculation. Luke 2 gives us one glimpse. Jesus at 12 years old in the temple in Jerusalem, astonishing the teachers with his questions and understanding. Then Luke writes one of the most quietly powerful lines in the whole gospel. Jesus grew in wisdom and stature, and in favor with God and man. That's it. That's the summary of an entire adolescence in a single sentence. Then Luke 3 picks back up with Jesus, about 30 years of age, beginning his ministry. Everything in between that entire span most people spend becoming who they are in silence. So what do we actually know, even without a direct account? A few solid clues. Mark 6:3 calls Jesus the carpenter. In the original Greek, tekton, which meant more like a builder or a craftsman, someone who worked with wood and stone. That tells us Jesus almost certainly spent those years working a trade likely trained by Joseph. Joseph disappears from the gospel narrative after Jesus' childhood, which many scholars believe means he died sometime during those years. And as the eldest son, Jesus would have taken on responsibility for his mother and younger siblings. That's not a small detail. It means a huge portion of Jesus' lost years were probably spent doing something incredibly ordinary, working, providing, and caring for his family. He also would have continued the normal life of a Jewish man in Nazareth, attending synagogue, studying Torah, memorizing scripture. That's likely where the depth of biblical knowledge he shows later, quoting Isaiah, debating Pharisees, referencing the Psalms from memory, was actually built. Now, silence in ancient texts make people uncomfortable, so legends filled the gap over the centuries. I want to mention a couple because you may have heard them, but I also want to be honest about their credibility. The most famous is the claim that Jesus traveled to India and Tibet during these years, studying under Hindu and Buddhist teachers. This idea mostly traces back to the 19th century writer named Nicholas Notovich, who claimed to have found an ancient manuscript describing this in a monastery. It became wildly popular, but when other researchers actually traveled to verify it, the monks at the monastery said no such manuscript existed, and Notovich's story is considered a fabrication by essentially every serious historian who's examined it. There are also apocryphal texts like the Infancy Gospel of Thomas that describe Jesus performing miracles as a child. These were written generations after Jesus' life and aren't considered historically reliable even by most Christian scholars, and were never included in the biblical canon for exactly that reason. I'd rather give you an honest, unglamorous truth than a more exciting legend. And the honest truth is no reliable historical source tells us Jesus was doing anything exotic. The most historically grounded picture is also the most ordinary one. But here's what I find remarkable, though. I think the ordinary explanation is actually more significant than any of the legends. The Son of God spent the majority of his earthly life, not 3 years, but roughly 30, doing completely unremarkable things, working with his hands, grieving a father, providing for a family, showing up to a synagogue week after week. Not one miracle recorded, not one sermon preached publicly. If you've ever felt like your life is just the ordinary stuff, showing up to work, taking care of people, quietly getting through a season with no applause, no visible breakthrough, Jesus lived that for decades before he did anything the world would call significant. And here's the thing, this isn't unique to Jesus. It's a pattern that runs through Scripture. Moses spent 40 years herding sheep in the wilderness before God ever called him at the burning bush. 40 years of obscurity after growing up in Pharaoh's palace, seemingly wasted time that turned out to be exactly the preparation he needed to lead people through that same wilderness later. David spent his youth alone with sheep, not palaces, developing the courage and the relationship with God that would carry him through everything that came after, long before anyone called him king. Paul, after his dramatic conversion on the road to Damascus, didn't launch straight into ministry. Galatians tells us he spent years in Arabia and Tarsus, years largely unrecorded, before his public ministry really began. Over and over, Scripture shows God doing his most important work in seasons that nobody is watching. I think this matters more than almost any single miracle story, honestly, because most of us are not living in our 3 years of public ministry. Most of us are living in our lost years. Maybe that's you right now. Maybe you're in a season that feels completely unremarkable, recovering from something, building something, just showing up to a job or a family or a routine that doesn't feel significant at all. Nobody's writing a gospel chapter about your Tuesday. But here's what I want you to sit with. The fact that a season is silent doesn't mean it's empty. Jesus grew in wisdom and stature during his silent years. Growth was happening even when nothing was being recorded. I believe that's still true. The seasons of your life that feel the most invisible might actually be the ones doing the deepest work in you, building the character, the endurance, and the depth the public seasons of your life will eventually stand on. If you're in a hidden season right now, I don't think the right response is to resent it or rush past it looking for the real chapter of your story to start. I think the right response is to actually let it do its work, to be faithful in the ordinary, unglamorous, unrecorded parts of your life, trusting that God isn't absent just because nothing looks dramatic. 30 years of silence came before 3 years that changed the world. I don't think that ratio is an accident. So if today you're in your own lost years, I hope this encourages you the way researching it encouraged me. Nothing about your ordinary season is wasted in God's hands. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear what season you feel like you're in right now. Drop it in the comments. And if you want more honest, deep dive conversations like this one, subscribe. This has been Bible Talk. Grace and peace.